Alright, in Chapter 2, we're already starting to talk about fractions. So, with fractions, the first thing we're going to describe is, well, some of the vocabulary. The top part of the fraction, whenever we have a fraction, you have your top and your bottom. The top part we call the numerator, and the bottom part we call the denominator. And when we're talking about the fraction, you can see it says the fraction split whole into parts. The denominator tells us the number of those parts. So if we take a board and we cut it into 2 equal parts, then each of those are halves. If we cut it into 3 equal parts, each of those are thirds. If we cut it into 4 equal parts, each of those are fourths. This 4, 3, 2, this is referring to the bottom part of the fraction. So this would be 1/4 of the total board, this would be 1/3, this would be 1/2 of the total board. So that's what the bottom part of the fraction is referring to. If we divide a length into 8 equal parts, each part will be 1/8 of the total length. Alright. If we do this to multiple boards, so we take multiple boards and divide them up into eighths, and we took 10 of those individual parts, the total length would be blank of the original board. So we have, our original board here, we have 8 parts, except we did this to multiple boards. We actually, the original board is here. It's 8 of those parts, but then we actually have 10 of those parts. So this is where the numerator comes into play. The total length of these portions would be 10/8 of the original length of the board. So you can see that the top part is counting up the number of so the numerator is counting up the number of parts we have, and the denominator is counting it's referring to the length of each of those individual parts. Each of those individual parts is 1/8 of the original. Alright, so the numerator, if the numerator is less than the denominator, then this is called a proper fraction. So 1/3, the numerator, the top part, is less than the denominator, so this is called a proper fraction. If the numerator is equal to or greater than, so in the example where I just gave 10/8, this would be called an improper fraction. Other than it's called an improper fraction, there's not really anything bad about improper fractions. There's no reason not to use them. Well, there are definitely some reasons to use them and some reasons not to use them, but don't feel like you need to avoid improper fractions because they're somehow invalid. The improperness is just a word.